Hey, this is Mike. I am in Whiteville, North Carolina, visiting Van Underwood Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, and I'm checking out a 2016 Ram 1500 at night. So we're going to check out, this is the SLT trim level, so we're going to check out the interior and exterior lights. So first of all, let's make sure it's locked, and when you push the lock button you can see a little flash of the lights there. So let's go ahead and start it up with the remote start so we can see what happens. See some lights flash. It starts up, and then you have that parking light there that illuminates, and it also had the tail lights on. But let me go ahead and unlock the doors. So let's go ahead and unlock it. So now when I push unlock, all these lights turn on to help with my approach of the vehicle. So I have the headlights here, the reflector halogen headlights there, and we also have this puddle light that is under the side mirror, which illuminates my approach there to the door, which helps out. We also have a cargo light on, which illuminates the bed, and there's some bed lights, LED bed lights there on the side that turn on as well. So that helps out with the approach. So now that it's unlocked, let's go ahead and pretend like we need to get into the Ram box. Open up the Ram box there, and it has the illumination on both sides, so we can actually see in there pretty good. So we're getting our tools or whatever we have stored here in the Ram box. So that's easy to see in there, and the same thing on the other side. So I turned just the parking light on so you can see what it looks like here in the front, and I put the turn signal on, left turn signal. So you can see it's flashing here in the front as well as the side mirror, which is a very good safety feature, I think. It lets everybody know you're turning. Let's take a look here in the back. You see it flashing really good, both on the side mirror and the tail light. Now we can see the low beams with the fog lights illuminated as well. And they're all halogen bulbs. So this is what the lights look like with the low beams and the fog lights. Let's go ahead and turn the fog lights off. So you can see there's the low beams. Now we turn those back on to show you when you put the high beams on, the fog lights turn off by themselves. So let's go ahead and put it on the high beams so we can see what they look like. Up here we've got the low beams. If you remember, this was the low beam part, and then down here is the high beam. So just below the headlight switch is a little button here. That's to turn on the cargo light. So let's go ahead and turn that on, and let's check it out. Let's get back here, drop the tailgate, and see how good we can actually see back here. Looking pretty good all the way out to the tailgate. You see you have the LED lights there on the sides, help illuminating this portion of the back of the truck, and then you have those big bright lights, cargo lights, illuminating the entire thing there. So this is a crew cab truck, so let's take a look at the back seat. So here's the inside of the back door, and there's no illumination except for this backlit power button here. The back seats are illuminated by this dome light here in the back center, and it does a pretty good job of illuminating even the floorboard to some extent. So there's no illumination here in the cup holders or anything. Let's take a look under the seats. All dark under here. Now I noticed some vehicles will have a little light under here, but this one in particular doesn't have it. Here's the inside of the driver's door, and it's pretty much dark for the most part except for these illuminated backlit buttons. Got the door lock controls, window controls, stuff like that. And the side mirrors are not illuminated unless you have choose one, then it just gives you a little light there showing you which one is activated. You see what it looks like with the interior lights on. You have the center lights there, plus you have the center light in the back, which does a pretty good job of illuminating the interior fairly well. And check it out, underneath the hood is a light that turns on when you lift it up all the way, so that way you can actually see under the hood a little bit, check your oil and stuff. So here's the interior with the interior lights on the front and back, and just to kind of give you an idea, you also have some illumination there on the floorboard. But let's go ahead and shut the door and we can see those lights fade away. So now we have all the backlit buttons, which is pretty awesome. Now you notice that the floorboard lights do not turn on unless you have the interior lights on. So there's the floorboard lights, and then you turn those off. So there's no real ambient lights in this particular model. So let's check it out. Here on the left side of the steering wheel is your headlight controls. And then here's your steering wheel with your backlit buttons here for your voice control, your voice recognition button, your phone button, and your menu buttons there. And your cruise control and your gear buttons are on the right, all backlit, easy to see. And here's your gauges. Now, the dimmer switch is just below the headlight switch there. So you can see the dimmer switch here. This is the button right here. You can scroll that. So scrolling the dimmer switch, you can put it really bright, like so, and then it go all the way down to there. But if you turn it all the way up, it'll turn the interior lights on. So I would probably have it right around in there, which is pretty easy on my eyes, and it looks pretty good to me. So here's your gauges, and you have that menu system there in the center. Really easy to read, comfortable, easy on the eyes. I'm going to kind of scroll through the menu system, just kind of show you some different information here and what it looks like at nighttime. All looks good. Very clear and crisp screen, by the way. And speaking of that clear and crisp screen, this interior screen right here, the touch screen, is adjustable with the dimmer switch as well. So I can adjust that to the brightness that I want. There's super bright, and then there's kind of a natural bright there. So here's your touch screen. I'm just going to push some icons here so you can get an idea of what it looks like with the different colors and everything at nighttime. Like so. Then you have your backlit buttons down here for your climate control, your volume knob, your heated seats, all that good stuff. Your four-wheel drive controls are over here. And let me just kind of show you what it looks like with a little bit of night shot here, so you can get a little bit of context of where I'm at. Now here's your shifter. I'm going to go ahead and put it in reverse by turning that knob so we can see what the backup camera looks like at nighttime. And not too bad. Now there is, you know, some lights here in the lot at Van Underwood, but you know, it still helps. Even in really dark situation, the lights on the back of the vehicle are very adequate. Let's go ahead and put it back in park. So I don't know if you can tell, but just right in here, yeah, my hand kind of gives it away. There's a little bit of ambient light coming down, I should say, from up here. So right in here, there's this little tiny light that illuminates fairly well, I should say, this whole area. So you got your, kind of gives you a little bit of a moonlight look. And let's see here, I'll show you what it looks like actually with some night vision. But yeah, this really helps out with just kind of getting your bearings at nighttime, and it's not too bright to where it's going to ruin your night vision or anything. It's a really, really handy thing to have. So let's take a look under the armrest here. So under the armrest, we'll do this again because it's easy to get lost in the dark. So here's a little spot where I'm looking, and you have these backlit buttons here for your inputs for your radio. Right there, your SD card, USB, and auxiliary inputs. Plus you have a 12-volt power supply, which is kind of dark. And then this whole thing lifts up, and wow, I'm surprised that there's no light in here. This is a compartment in which you're going to have a bunch of junk in, so you would think that they'd have a little bit of light. I guess a little bit of ambient light. And also, if you need to look in there, all you have to do is turn the interior lights on, like so. You have a couple backlit buttons there on the bottom of the rearview mirror, like so, in case you need some assistance. Then you have your garage door opener controls and your rear sliding back glass control there. And these tap lights, you can turn them on individually in case you need a quick reading light, or like I showed you before, you can turn on all the interior lights. So the visors have lights and mirrors in them. Same thing on the passenger side. So sitting on the passenger side, we have these compartments, the glove compartment. So this compartment here on the top is has a little light there to where you can see in there, but the glove compartment itself is completely dark. So I'm going to turn on the interior lights so you can see what I'm looking at. You have this glove compartment here, and then you have this compartment here, which the top one has a little light, which is pretty handy. So there you have it, 2016 Ram 1500 at night, inside and out, and very well lit vehicle, I should say, especially with all the compartments and everything. Now this is the SLT trim level, so some of the other Ram trucks will have a little bit more illumination on the inside, but this one is a good representation of about what you get in a Ram truck. So thank you for watching, and thank you to Van Underwood, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram for allowing me to show off an awesome truck, and I'll see you guys next time.